So let's start at the beginning. Tower is lessons through destruction. So you're right in the middle of your decision making. It looks like you've made some changes over the last couple of months and just putting them into action. If you know what you need to do, I encourage you, Pisces, to march through the fear and make those changes, because if we don't make the changes, kind of a spirit comes and makes those changes for us. It can be very destructive or in the middle of chaos. So if you know there's words that you need to speak to, either a family member, your partner, your boss, please step up with love and kindness and put those messages out and your desires and the changes that you want to make. So what it crosses you is it looks like you're mulling this over, you're losing a lot of sleep. This is a 9 of Swords, so you're almost to the completion of this cycle. Don't give up, Pisces. Keep going. I know the difficult stuff is right ahead of you. It looks like it's more communication right now than motion. So there's some agreements that have to be in place before the motion can take place for you, Pisces. But it also feels like you've got a couple of pages here. So it feels like you've been getting messages. It feels like from the past. You have a pentacle here and you have a wand. So some of it is requiring a little bit of motion on your part. And also the Page of Pentacles. They're both right side up. So I am feeling like these are messages. Page of Pentacles is usually good news. It can be good news about a child. And the Page of Wands, that can be a little bit more challenging. Page of Wands is important work or something of importance that you need to pay attention to. But I'm also feeling children in your space. So it looks like some of this communication, some of these things that are a little staticky will affect children, either pro or con. It can go either way depending on what the issue is and how it is being resolved. But I'm feeling a lot of energy and tension from the past that is being brought to the present. So, like old memories coming up that's or accusations from the past, but some it feels very staticky. The communication has been very staticky, and this may be affecting your love space, Pisces, but it looks like it's time to speak those truths, set the boundaries a little bit clearer than last month. It looks like you have been doing a lot of work, Pisces, on moving this energy around and kind of setting the foundation for yourself and putting you or making you a priority. It does look like you have done that in many respects, which might be why the apple cart's being a little upset, because you're making the changes. Continue making those changes. It may be uncomfortable for family members, but in the long run, I feel more happiness and rejuvenation for you. You've been kind of in a stagnant space for a while within, it feels like family, could be love relationships, but it feels like you've been kind of doing a lot of the emotional work and letting your own desires and your own needs go for a while. So it looks like you are embracing, changing things for you, making you a priority, paying attention to the messages that's coming to you. But it looks like there's a big shift coming in March for you, that you're getting all these little details in order that are kind of the nitty-picky things that are in your way and not quite pleasant. So you can make room for the new and exciting part of this next part of your journey. What is in the past here is that you're feeling trapped in a situation. This could be job, this could be relationship, this could be friendship, family dynamics that need to change, but you have been really feeling trapped and unable to grow and change into your own highest creative essence. It also looks like that you haven't been looking at something as honestly as you can. So take those blindfolders off, look at what it is, speak your truth, and you won't feel so trapped in the situation. Sometimes doing the hard thing for the moment relieves you in the future, but you got to do the hard work. So you're just kind of looking at it. This is in the past position, so you may have already taken a step into that truth and started making those changes that you need to change for you and the better of the dynamics in general, whether it's work or family. I'm feeling really a lot of family dynamics is changing. We're right in the middle of, we're a couple of months into the big changes that Saturn has moved us into the relationship space for the next year. And that will be happening probably till September, October. So it doesn't surprise me that some of your interpersonal relationships are a bit challenged right now, Pisces. The Fool is right in the main position, and this actually is a lovely card. It can stand for not making the same mistakes over and over, not making the same mistakes twice, but it also stands for taking a leap of faith, just taking a leap of faith. And it looks like in general, your own faith and your own desires have been coming to the forefront. You've been ignoring them a little bit. Your spiritual self is kind of being more and more ignited for your own healing and growth. So don't be afraid to try something new, Pisces. Just take that leap of faith. This does feel like it has something to do with great joy for you. So it could be your art. It could be your passion, whatever you have kind of put on the back shelf for all this other dysfunctional or challenging lessons and behaviors that have been kind of in your face for the last couple of years. Now it's time to take a leap of faith and to really enjoy your passions and make time for yourself and make time for what brings you happiness and your smile. So you are moving a lot of this kind of static and tumultuous energy out. It's been a long time coming, Pisces, but it looks like it kind of tag teamed you in the last couple of months that everything has fallen on your plate. Just take it one thing at a time till completion and then hit the next thing. It's a little overwhelming if you look at the big picture and try to resolve everything at once. So just one thing at a time and keeping your happiness in mind while you're making those decisions. It looks like you have come to a place of acceptance that you are no longer going to make your choices other people's priorities. You're going to make your priorities your choices. So, and that looks like it's going to continue through the month of March, maybe into April. This also is another 9. So you're just completing a cycle. So don't give up. Just keep going. This is, the last lap of anything in life is challenging. And so that's what it looks like. Just keep going. Keep asking for advice and making you a priority. So it's a little bit more the same from the last month or so. But the 9 of Wands here is that you're really looking at what your priorities are, what you own, what somebody else's priorities are, and what you've taken on as your own. And it looks like as you honestly, pull this blinder off, as you honestly look at what's going on in the world, you're realizing what is yours to fix and what has been, say, your partner or your children or your parents, even your co-workers. So now that you are making your stuff a priority, it's becoming clearer and clearer what is yours to fix and what isn't. So that will continue through the month of March here, sweet Pisces. So you got a lot of wands, you got a lot of action, you got so all that thinking that you've been doing over the last couple of months, which the thinking cards are kind of going towards the past. Now it's time for action, putting all those thoughts into action. And it looks like you have a lot of new ideas, could even be moving for some of you Pisces, or, making a rec room, redoing things in your home, setting up things a little differently than they have, just trying new ways of completing tasks or prioritizing. But once you're able to release the stuff that really isn't yours to fix, it's much easier to prioritize for you, see what can wait and what can't. But it looks like you're really embraced the change. But it looks like those around you have not gotten on board quite as quickly. It also feels like a bit of a theft or betrayal around here. And as you are changing and shifting and moving your priorities to include you first, it looks like that's probably pissing off some people, whether it's family members or your partner. But it looks like some of this energy from the past has been laying heavy on you, but it also feels like it's being brought to your attention, almost like hitting you over the head with mistakes that you've made from the past. And now you just want to separate from all that negative so you can move forward and release a lot of your fears. But there is a definite fear of theft or someone taking something that isn't theirs, or creating some kind of chaos or attention around the changes that you need to make. I don't feel like it is a physical danger, but it does feel like a little gossipy. It does feel like possibly stealing something. It could be on the material end of things, taking things that aren't theirs. And I'm not feeling like it's a theft from a stranger, but it feels more like, and for those of you that are releasing relationships, this could be, divorce, separation stuff, and the fear of losing money, losing things by making these changes. Whenever there is a shift, we gain and we release. So let those fears go. It feels like it's more on the emotional side. I'm kind of being held hostage, but it looks like you're pushing through that because your truth is greater than this fear. Also, it looks like here, this is the Eight of Pentacles. You're gaining some insight. You are gaining some knowledge. You may even be taking some classes to better yourself at work. Could be interpersonal. And for many of you that are cleaning up your marriage or relationship space, this could stand for going to counseling, getting some tools, getting some information on how to proceed forward. The Page of Pentacles is here. I'm feeling this change is affecting children. Could be grandbabies, could be your own children, nieces, nephews, but this change, and if it is a separation of two family members, of course, that always changes the dynamics for children, and they tend to worry and fret a little bit, but it looks like there's a lot of attention being put on these children in a positive way, so these changes won't disrupt them so violently. So if it is divorce or separation, that is probably some of the static in the communication. But if it's a job, and moving, that will upset their roots a little bit. So please include the children in any changes that are coming up and work through that. There may mean some counseling here involved for the kids or for marriage partners. But if it is on the work-related avenue, this can be for many of you just adding to your skills, just adding to either interpersonal skills or physical skills at work, gaining more knowledge so you can fly higher. Page of Pentacles here is the main focus, so I'm feeling this is really based on messages. Messages with Pentacles is good news. It's usually good news after a challenging time. It could be honoring your ambitions, and you have taken a leap of faith into your own energy and made yourself a priority. So it wouldn't surprise me if work is going well, you're being honored, you're doing a little bit of extra things, and you're getting acknowledged for that. So you may get some messages. You may get an email from the boss that says, great job, really appreciated that. So pay attention to the messages that's coming. This is good news if it is a message. This one I feel is more like children and the effects of these changes that will happen on these children. The Wheel of Fortune is here. You know, that is a 10. That is completion of something that you've been working on for quite a while. Wheel of Fortune is a wonderful card. If you put in positive, you'll get back positive. If you put in negative, you'll get back negative. And I believe you had the Wheel of Fortune last month, Pisces, but I believe it was in the present position. So this looks like it's something you've been thinking about for a long time and wanting to create. Now is the opportunity. The foundation is there. Now is time to jump into your wildest dreams and start the motion on living your passions, whether it is a hobby, whether it is doing the healing arts, whether it is art, poetry, but something that is your passion is reigniting again. So I encourage you to get out there and start doing it. This card here, these two, I throw two for clarity of the main card. And this one is exactly as it looks. This is the 8 of Cups. Cups are emotions, can be love. So for many of you Pisces, you may have to walk away from something that you loved at one time, but is no longer serving. It's no longer filling your heart. And I know relationship is right on the front burner right now. So for many of you, it can be either walking away from a relationship that no longer serves or changing how it has been working for you. So you may have to change the dynamics, a shift in the power. It can be just acceptance of a situation, or for many of you, it may be walking away from a toxic relationship that you've been trying to fix for many years, many years, and it is no longer what it used to be. So find your courage, walk into the unknown if you need to do that. But there's a lot of emotions around. Cups are love, cups are emotions, and all the feels are cups. This moon is lighting up for me, so it's an intrinsic thing. It's something you've been thinking about for a long time, so it looks like it's time to take that leap of faith into your own greatness. But you've been trying to, it looks like, fix everybody else's greatness for a while. So now it's time to be on your own in certain aspects. And it may be taking a leap of faith into applying for a new job. Also, it doesn't necessarily have to be an interpersonal type of relationship, but because relationships are right in the forefront on most of the signs right now, I really feel Pisces, it's making a shift in a relationship, whether it's continuing it, redoing it, or walking away from the toxicity and it no longer serves. I know that's a hard card, so I wish you luck in that journey. That one's hard. The card upside down here that I pulled is you're losing a little sleep. There has been some decisions made, you know. Upright, it's like when you're losing a lot of sleep and it's haunting you and you don't see the forest for the trees, but the good stuff is right here. You just have to make some decisions. So it does look like now that it is reversed, you have made those decisions, but how do you start? It looks like, how do you start the ball rolling? How do you make the shift? So just one foot in front of the other is my best advice to you. Just start the journey by one step, and all will be shown to you. But it looks like a decision has been made, but just wondering how you're going to move it, and what your next step will look like. So that is a reading, sweet Pisces, for March. It looks like it's the ending of some things that you have been working on for many months, could be even years. But now it's time to make you a priority, continue on that. You know, I'm not saying disrespect anybody else, but no more disrespecting your passions, your desires, and your needs for other people's. And it looks like some of their needs actually were kind of false needs, a little bit manipulative. So let's throw a couple cards here for clarity. So lessons and blessings, really taking a look at your lessons for yourself and releasing the things that you need to release so you can move forward. And you've known you've had to do these for a long time, and really finding the faith in yourself and your faith in the journey. Looks like you lost some faith along the way, sweet Pisces, but it looks like it's reigniting in your space. And don't lose the faith in yourself or in others, and trust yourself a little bit more. Celtic, when I ask Spirit what this means, it's kind of like the old way of doing things. May not necessarily be the more healthy way of doing things, just because it is part of the legacy and part of the way that it's always been done in your family and maybe your marriage or partnership, or your partnership at work. But trying different things. Keep what works and let go what doesn't.